Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn Liu and John McTavish. How you guys doing today?
All right.
Good, man. I think the theme of the review recaps we're doing tonight is like limited edition anniversary cigars, so that's kind of fun.
Seems about that.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. 3 or 4. All right. So today we are talking about the Montecristo 1935 Anniversary Nicaragua No. 2. The cigar is a Torpedo 6 and an eighth by 52. Comes out of the San Latano factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper, binder, filler, all listed as Nicaragua. No further detail than that. The blenders are Rafael Nodal, AJ Fernandez, and the Grupo de Maestros, which I think the Grupo de
Interesting.
Maestros were kind of just thrown in there a little bit.
So
Uh,
so AJ.
AJ and Rafael. I mean, let's just
Oh,
be
I didn't
honest.
know
Raphael's going to give him
Raphael.
feedback. Yeah.
Okay.
Price point is $16.43. Cigar was released in November of 2020. So, June, with all that out of the way, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
Yeah, I not to judge a book by its cover, but I totally do that with every cigar that I review. But so you see something like this, you're like, all right, it's a non-Cuban Montecristo. It's like, oh, fantastic. And then it's like, okay, it's coming out of AJ Salatado, double the fantastic. And then you're like, it's almost $17. What the fuck, right? It's a lot of things to be like, man, I think I'm gonna be let down.
Mhm.
But I was wrong. I was very wrong. I actually thought this was a good cigar. So, it was decently complex. It just kind of hit everything that I kind of looked for in a cigar. It was sweet. It had spices. It had earthiness. I had some like really nice Hawaiian bread. Had this Barnyard Funk herbal tea, baking spices. You retrohale it as you kind of expect. That the pepper kind of kicks up. And it had this like nice toasted nuttiness as well. Medium body, medium strength. I thought this was good. I was really surprised by how much I liked it, which makes me think that I should probably smoke another one just to see that I really do like it. But the one that I just smoked for review, I liked it.
All right, John, what are your thoughts?
Well, if you want confirmation, June, every once in a while, June and I align on a cigar, and it's odd that it would be a Monte Cristo 1935 anniversary, but it is. I mean, I hate to say that judging a book by its cover, but I'm in the same boat. I've had Monte Cristo non-Cubans in the past. I can't say I've always been impressed. I was impressed. I was impressed not only with how complex the cigar was, but it managed to keep and maintain that complexity like to the nub. And I don't even think I can remember the last cigar that I reviewed where the last third was anything above average, and that goes back maybe like 9 months. So I was really impressed. I'm not going to go over the litany of flavors 'cause I think June kind of touched on them, but it was nice. It was complex, and with no disrespect to AJ, because I think AJ does some good blends for some people, but I feel like this is more Raphael than AJ because I've had a bunch of Raphael stuff. Like we just had the what was it, KSG, and
No, that's
that's
not
sorry.
Raphael.
I'm dumb.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm dumb.
That's Noel
Anyway,
Rojas, right?
Yeah.
that's Noel Rojas.
Potato,
I'm
potato.
so dumb. Anyways, I've had Raphael stuff, and I feel like this is more his profile because AJ like when I think of AJ, I think of like that sort of leather, earth, baking spice, pepper. Like to me, that's typically how AJ blends. Raphael blends more on the creamy baking spices, citrusy,
Hmm.
and it's still got baking spices and pepper, but it's a lot more of the sort of Christmas flavors than that sort of dank flavors. Anyways, all that to say, I really enjoy this cigar. Of course, coming out of one of AJ's factories, you always expect construction to be excellent. The draw was flawless. I had to do one touch up because the waviness kind of got out of control in the second third. But other than that, overall good experience. I was very happy to have smoked this cigar. Aaron, feel free to crap all over it.
All right, I'll be the dissenter here. Yeah, the cigar had an interesting start for like the first half inch, but then it just became really average. It was focused around wood, earth, and mustiness. Final third dropped down a bit as the char joined in and kind of built up. Overall, the cigar just kind of hit me as average. Kind of a typical experience of what I get out of, collaborations that AJ's involved in. I had some burn issues, couple relights, I think, in the second third. So that was kind of out of character for a cigar that comes from one of AJ's factories. But, talking about anniversary cigars, and this price point, just didn't deliver for me. But I'm glad it delivered for you guys. So it's good to see that. Maybe it's just a little bit of little inconsistency there. Maybe I just didn't get the good ones. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to revisit this and smoke what you guys smoked, and I might do that. Maybe try another Vitola because I think they have one called the Demi, which is like a really thin ring gauge one that was interesting to me. So I might check that one out. So, but yeah, for this torpedo, if I came across it, I might smoke it again just to see if I get a similar experience to what you guys got. But I wouldn't reach out for this. But I might try another Vitola or something just to kind of get a feel. All right, let's get into the scores. We're going to start at the top with John at 7.07. Jiunn was next at 6.82. Seth was unable to join us for the video, gave it a 5.50, and I gave it a 4.95. So, John, how'd that 7.07 match up for you?
That's, I mean, in the role of Seth Geis, I'll be played by John McTavish this evening. Man, again, I don't remember. I was talking about cigar in the last 9 months that had a good last third. I can't remember the last cigar. I mean, it was early on in 2020 that I had something in the sevens. That, I mean, for me, that would put it in presumably top 10 cigar contest for the year already.
Yeah.
But that absolutely 100% matches up with my experience.
You better hope for some really good cigars, John.
Hey, man, it was good from start to finish. And if it's good from start to finish, I mean, granted,
Dude,
it's a little
my
pricey.
bad. Yeah,
I
don't know why I'm shitting on this cigar because I actually really liked it, and I'm shitting all over this cigar.
Yeah, you have to explain your 6.82. Was that too high for you, or was that right where it was supposed to be?
No, it's good, man. I think it's my final third lost a little steam, which is not why it was consistently good all the way across the all three thirds. But I still stand behind that score, and it's a really good score. Like,
yeah, especially for you.
Yeah. I you know how you're saying, John, about how you think, Raphael had more of a hand in this.
Feels like it.
This totally makes sense, right? Because typically, if you think about a typical AJ profile, I would never say that it's anywhere near being any degree of complex, right? So when I said that, I thought this was decently complex, and it had more of that sweetness and the baking spices and things of that nature. It makes sense. So I mean, yeah, definitely a winner. Stand by that score. Just kind of expensive for a AJ made cigar, because usually you could get around with like $78 ish for something that's like a torpedo like this. But then again, we're not smoking for the bang for the buck and just blowing out billows of smoke. We're smoking for quality cigars. So.
Yeah, my 4.95 matches up well. I mean, it was a below average flavor profile, and then I had those burn issues, so that kind of dropped it down. Otherwise, we'd be kind of talking about low fives, mid fives, maybe. But yeah, just a disappointment. I was really looking forward to it. I thought, look at this cigar. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a nice earthy, chocolatey type cigar or something like that. Obviously doing the Jiunn judge a book by its cover kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't really get that. So I mean, the first half inch was nice, but then just kind of disappeared right after that. So. Any other final thoughts from you guys on this cigar?
Yeah, and to be Seth, he's like, listen, man, it's not a Davidoff, case closed. That's all he will say.
Yeah, he made an interesting comment, and I'll bring it up, even though he can't really speak to it. But he kind of thought that this was Raphael and AJ trying to make a Padron.
Oh,
okay. You know what? I think that's a really. I wish we had Seth on the video. I think that's a really smart comment. I can totally see that being. Hey, we wanted to mimic the 1926 profile because they got pretty damn close.
I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I don't give a fuck. So when I went to I had a friend I have a friend that said
you're definitely not supposed to say this.
Okay, right. Well,
we're gonna get a takedown notice.
No, we're not. This is a positive connotation.
All right.
So I heard that the New World that AJ did like years ago, right? You remember that New World?
Yeah, that was a good
It's the
cigar.
Maduro wrapper. I forget what exact wrapper he used, but that was supposed to be his budget Padron that he went after.
Okay.
So, but what's interesting about Seth's comment and after smoking this is I could see this matching up to a Padron way more, and I think it's a pretty good fight to be a cheaper Padron.
Yeah, his comment was that they failed at it to do
Oh.
it. So, but I mean,
okay.
it worked. I mean, it works. If
Well,
you guys thought it was, then it's
Yeah, I could totally
I
see
can
that.
see it. I could
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
see it.
And I mean, to be fair to AJ, because I kind of took some shots at AJ, which is really not fair. It's very possible that Raphael and AJ got together and played off of each other in the blending thing. And I only say that it felt more Raphael than AJ, just because in our history, which is I'm coming up on a decade now of doing reviews. In my experience, typically when you have a collaboration, it's really 75% one blender and 25% the other. And I've yet to run across a collaboration where it's 50-50. So it's very possible they played off of each other. But my intuition is that it was more Raphael than AJ. But yeah, great
Totally
cigar.
see that. I can see all those points. No, that's interesting.
all
Good
right. If
talks.
you're catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Montecristo.